Hello, everybody, and welcome to our exciting Expedia World Explorer. We've got one of our favorite partners here, Mark Durowich from Silversea. I got Mark. We've been colleagues for 15 years, and fantastic guy. And we just want him to walk us through this fantastic brand. They cover the world, and super excited for you to be here. So, Mark, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean. So first of all, I want to thank everybody for being on today's call. Expedia, Cruise Ship Centers, Thunder Bay, and for affiliates have a phenomenal promotion happening with Silversea during the month of October. So I wanted to give you a little bit of information on the brand and what type of style of cruising Silversea offers, what type of brand we are, and why you should consider us. So I just wanted to welcome everybody. That's a picture of me. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Mark Durowich. I'm the Senior Director of Sales for Canada. And let's begin. Let's begin with who is Silversea. So Silversea Cruises is the world's largest all-inclusive brand. The cruise line was founded in the year 1994 with one ship. We actually introduced all-inclusive luxury cruising to the world with Silver Cloud in 1994. Pre-1994, there were luxury brands, but they were not all-inclusive. So the thing which everybody loved about Silversea was that if you had a glass of wine with dinner, you wanted a cocktail after dinner, you didn't have to pay as you go. There was one price, everything was included in the price. And we've stuck with that very successful formula over the years. And actually, we've been copied by many of the current other luxury brands in the marketplace. Over the years, Silversea has grown to a fleet of 10 ships. We are a small format luxury cruise line, so our largest ship carries just 600 guests. Our smallest ship carries 100 guests. So we actually tailor the vessels to the destination rather than the reverse. Smallest vessel is Silver Origin, which was our first purpose-built ship in the Galapagos, and she sails in the Galapagos year-round. During the pandemic, we experienced a lot of growth, and while the rest of the world was contracting during COVID, Silversea was actually expanding, and so we launched 3 brand new ships during the pandemic, and we acquired one, and we actually also announced 2 other new builds. So Silver Moon and Silver Dawn, sister ships, they were launched during COVID. Silver Origin, which is our first purpose-built ship in the Galapagos, also launched during COVID, and we also announced the building of the new Silver Nova, which will be coming out next year, followed by her sister ship, Silver Ray, which will be coming out in 2024. These ships are going to be very different. They'll be a little bit larger than our largest vessels. Currently, they'll carry 728. But the big news recently was we also acquired Crystal's expedition ship, formerly known as the Crystal Endeavor. We've renamed her Silver Endeavor, and she'll begin sailing in Antarctica this November. So 4 new ships that we've come out of the pandemic with that we didn't have before going into the pandemic. So Silversea, as I mentioned, the world's largest luxury brand, beautiful ships, amazing dining, amazing service, but that's not really what sets us apart. What truly sets Silversea apart from any other cruise line in the marketplace is the number of destinations that we travel to. Silversea is the destination leader. We travel to over 900 destinations around the world. When Silver Nova and Silver Ray are launched in 23 and 24, we're actually going to break 1,000 destinations. Our next closest competitor doesn't even do 400. So we do more than twice as many destinations as our next closest competitor. And the way that we're able to do that is that we are a very unique brand. We offer 2 very distinct styles of cruising. We offer classic or traditional cruises. So when you think of classic cruises, think of destinations like the Mediterranean or the Baltic or Alaska or Asia, where you're visiting the great cities of the world, places like Venice, places like Hong Kong, Tokyo, Barcelona. But Silversea also offers another very unique style of cruising, and that's known as expedition. And when you think about expedition, think of some of the most remote, desolate areas on the planet, places like Antarctica, places like Greenland, the Canadian High Arctic, the Galapagos, Micronesia, Melanesia, Polynesia. all the very, very remote areas that don't have docking facilities, that don't have ports. And so Silversea is able to access those because we have two styles of cruising and very, very unique fleet of ships, which are known as our expedition fleet. So I love this map because it gives you a very good overview of all of the different places that Silversea goes to. So if you see the little white dots on the screen, those are destinations which are visited by our classic fleet or traditional fleet. And then you'll see little red dots, and the little red dots are destinations that are visited by our expedition fleet. And you see the little red dots go all the way up to the top of the screen: Northern Greenland, Ellesmere Island, the Canadian High Arctic. They go all the way down to the bottom to Antarctica. They visit the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. They visit entire regions of Asia and Africa and South America that typically are not accessible by larger traditional cruise ships. Zodiacs, of course, are the key to expedition cruising. Zodiacs are very stable, very durable craft that enable us to travel to places like Antarctica and the high Arctic. Docking facilities are not there because they're not required. This is a photograph of some of our guests boarding a Zodiac in Antarctica to view the glaciers and make a landing. And so Zodiacs, as I mentioned, able to access pretty much anywhere on the planet where water touches land. This is a picture, an aerial shot of an expedition traveling through Brazil in the one of the tributaries of the Amazon River, or you can land amongst a colony of 60,000 penguins in South Georgia Island, or you can slowly follow, a polar bear in the Canadian Arctic and still stay at a safe distance while taking pictures. Zodiacs make all of that possible. And so Silversea, of course, a beautiful luxury brand that travels the world. A little bit more about the product. Why do people choose Silversea over other cruise lines? The style of the cruise line is small format luxury, very, very comfortable and very contemporary decor. As I mentioned, we have a fleet of small, beautiful ships. Our largest ship currently carries just 600 guests. Our smallest ship carries just 100. And of course, Silversea is an all-suite product. So there are no inside cabins, there are no outside cabins, there are no cabins whatsoever. It's an all-suite product. It's only suites on board. We deliver very high level of personalized service, one crew member per guest, so 1-to-1 crew to guest ratio. We offer, of course, amazing cuisine, gourmet excellence, up to 8 restaurants to choose from, 24-hour in-suite dining service. And of course, on our expedition product, we travel with a team of experts. So marine biologists, zoologists, glaciologists, geologists that do a lot of their research on board and are able to share a lot of their research and a lot of their information with our guests as we travel to places like the Galapagos and Antarctica and the Arctic. So it's more of a school at sea, much more of an immersion type program. And of course, the highlight again of Silversea is the fact that we travel to pretty much every destination on the planet. And our motto is actually, let us take you closer to the authentic beauty of the world. We typically travel to places not visited by larger, more commercial cruise ships. So we offer small format luxury cruising. You see here the Silver Spirit, which is currently Silversea's largest ship, sailing into Rio de Janeiro. And it looks like a big ship from this photograph, but to put it into perspective, when I was in Quebec City a few years ago, I took a picture of the Royal Princess, which you can see at the center of the screen. And then if you look just to the left, that is Silver Spirit. That is Silversea's largest ship compared to the Royal Princess. And you can see just exactly what the scale of Silversea is. We are a small format brand. And of course, because of that, we like to say that our ships and our fleet is very, very versatile. Here is a photograph, and this is the quintessential photograph of Silversea, Silver Wind, which carries just 274 guests, sailing right underneath Tower Bridge in London. So when Silversea says, we travel to London or we go to Tower Bridge, we mean London. We don't mean Southampton with a 2-hour transfer to London. We mean we go all the way into the heart of London. We're also able to access a lot of the great rivers of the world. This is a photograph of Bordeaux taken from the air. You can see a ship on the Garonne River, where you see that large park area with the trees. That's where Silversea docks when we're in Bordeaux. And this is, of course, Silver Shadow in Shanghai with the financial district across the river. And of course, we're able to access cities like Quebec and Montreal when we are in Canada. So we continue to be a luxurious, all-inclusive product. We offer very spacious suites. The smallest suite on Silversea's classic fleet is 386 square feet. So very spacious right from the beginning. These are the veranda categories. And then of course we move into the 1 and the 2 bedroom suites. So they get larger from there. This is a silver suite. And then this is a photograph of an owner's suite. So very spacious all suite accommodation. Of course, the cuisine on Silversea is something you can absolutely write home about. Delicious cuisine, freshly prepared by our master chefs. And on our classic fleet, we have up to 8 different restaurants to choose from. Silversea is also the most international of all of the luxury brands. So we source our clientele from around the world. We're not strictly a North American cruise line where 90 or 95% of the clientele comes from North America. We only source about half of our clientele from North America. The other half come from Europe, South Africa, Asia, South America. So we have a very international mix of clientele. And that's also reflected in the cuisine that we offer on board the ship. So La Dame is the classic French restaurant. La Terrazza is Italian. The grill is a classic grill for lunch. In the evenings, we put out the lava stone, which we heat to 400 degrees Celsius. And you can actually grill either salmon or lamb chops or steak or whatever the protein of choice is. We also have kaiseki, which is a classic Japanese restaurant. There's Spacca Napoli, which is our pizzeria. Silver Note is a jazz club, which serves tapas-style foods. And then, of course, Atlantide is our classic steak and seafood restaurant. And then there is Salt. Salt is a brand new culinary concept which launched on Silver Moon. SALT is an acronym which stands for Sea and Land Taste. And there are 3 components to SALT. There's the SALT Kitchen, there's the SALT Bar, and there's the SALT Lab. And the idea behind SALT is that the menu here changes daily. Every single day, the menu changes depending on the destination that you are visiting. So for example, this summer, Silver Moon was in the Baltic. So it began in Copenhagen. Then when we sailed into Gdansk, SALT offered a Polish menu, offered a lot of Polish specialties. The following day, we would be in Tallinn, Estonia. So the menu would feature a lot of traditional Estonian dishes. The day after that, we would be in Helsinki, Finland. So Finnish dishes on the menu at SALT. And then, going over to Stockholm in Sweden, of course, Swedish cuisine, then Norwegian, then Danish. So every time the ship calls on a different port, in the SALT Kitchen, we change the menu. This becomes very exciting when we visit destinations in Africa and Asia. And of course, the same is true in the SALT Bar, where we do the same idea of offering beverages and cocktails from the parts of the world that we're visiting. And then, of course, you've got the SALT Lab, which is the culinary school where they teach you the traditional ways of cooking these different foods from around the world. And they do kind of like a cooking class that you're able to participate in. So it's absolutely fantastic. This is a picture of the SALT Bar on board Silver Moon. This is an image of the SALT Lab where you get a chance to study under one of our chefs on how to prepare local specialties from the region you're visiting. And then, of course, in the SALT Kitchen, it's a real experience of culinary immersion where you're able to sample cuisine and foods from the different areas of the world that you're visiting. Silversea, again, offers a very friendly, personalized service at a very high touch level. So 1 crew member per guest. And we also offer butler service for all guests on board. So butler service is not just offered for people in certain suites, but all guests on board have the services of their own butler. And of course, the highlight is the fact that Silversea travels in 2023 to 965 dream destinations around the world. And so we offer some very unique itineraries. And for this reason, it's always a good idea to speak with your Expedia Cruise Ship Centers consultant about all of the amazing places that Silversea travels to. Take a look at this very unique itinerary. This will be offered in 23 and 24. Reykjavik, Iceland, sailing over to Greenland, around the south coast of Greenland to see the spectacular glaciers, then over to Baffin Island through Davis Strait, and the cruise ends in Churchill, Manitoba. This is a very unique Baltic itinerary. Mainly people, when they think of the Baltic, they think of classic cruising. You're visiting places like St. Petersburg, Tallinn, Gdansk, Stockholm, Helsinki. You don't see Stockholm here. You won't see St. Petersburg here. You don't see Tallinn. You don't see Gdansk. You don't see any of the places like Copenhagen. This is an expedition Baltic cruise, which goes all the way up the Gulf of Bothnia and calls on some very unique ports of call, some ancient medieval cities along the western coast of Finland and the northeastern coast of Sweden. So very, very unique itineraries. If any of you have been to Hawaii a number of times, you've been to a Caribbean a number of times, and you want an interesting island style cruise destination, take a look at this amazing offer from Silversea. Round trip Lisbon, goes over to the Azores, then down to Madeira, then all the way down to the Cape Verde Islands off the coast of Africa, then all the way up to the Canary Islands before returning to Lisbon. So very, very unique itinerary. And then here in Canada, we're going to have a beautiful itinerary on Silver Shadow next year, sailing 11 days, circumnavigation of Newfoundland, stopping, of course, in St. Pierre de Miquelon, which are part of France, visiting the Magdalen Islands in Quebec, Gaspé, and then returning to Quebec. And then these are just some other very amazing itineraries that we offer on Silversea: Melbourne to Darwin, Muscat up to Athens, Antarctic itineraries, which also include the Falklands and South Georgia Island, and some really unique itineraries along the west coast of Africa. So, circumnavigations of Japan. We have cruises that go up to Svalbard. We've got, cruises of the Northwest Passage. Currently one of our ships, the Silver Wind, is completing its cruise from Kangerlussuaq to Nome. So that itinerary that goes to the Northwest Passage typically sails late August into early September. And so, just really, really unique itineraries around the world. Silversea has a fleet of 4 expedition ships. We will be featuring 3 ships in Antarctica starting this fall, and we offer a number of different Antarctic itineraries. This is really an itinerary that's on a lot of people's bucket list as a destination. So we offer a new program called Antarctica Bridge, which is different from all of our other Antarctic itineraries in that instead of sailing from the southern tip of South America 2 days across to the Antarctic Peninsula, across the Drake Passage, you fly business class air to King George Island, you disembark the ship, you disembark the aircraft, you walk across the tarmac, you embark on a Zodiac, and within several minutes, you're embarking the Silver Endeavor, and you begin sailing a 5, 6, or 9 night cruise in Antarctica. And then, of course, we offer cruises of varying lengths in Antarctica as well. The standard Antarctic Peninsula itinerary is 10 to 12 days, but we also have longer itineraries like the Deep Antarctica is a 20-day, it's almost 3 weeks. And then, of course, we have the Antarctica, Falkland, and South Georgia Island itinerary, which is 14 to 18 days. So this is, of course, the business class air on board our Antarctica Bridge voyage, which is becoming more and more popular. Galapagos Islands are another amazing destination that's on a lot of people's bucket list. The Galapagos, of course, located almost right smack dab on the equator, and Silver Origin is the ship which takes you to these amazing places. It's a very, very unique vessel, carries just 100 guests. That's the tailgate that pops down in the back where the Zodiacs land and embark and disembark our guests. So this is a photograph of the Zodiac just tethered to the back of the tailgate. This is a photograph of people embarking and disembarking the Zodiac, but it's just an amazing way to explore the Galapagos Islands. I had the pleasure of being there last November. Absolutely amazing ship and an amazing destination. This is the base camp area. Silversea has a relationship with the Royal Geographical Society in London, so we have a number of artifacts in the display cases, including facsimiles of Darwin's diaries when he was in the Galapagos. This is base camp, so you can see here it's a touch screen. You get an opportunity to learn about the different flora, the different fauna while you're there. This is the Explorer Lounge. There's, of course, the beautiful 2 restaurants. And then, of course, these amazing suites. And there's 50 of them, and floor-to-ceiling windows. So you allow the Galapagos right into your suite. It's just absolutely spectacular. And these are the 2 Galapagos itineraries that we offer. This is what we call the Western itinerary and the North Central itinerary. Or you can do them back to back, but both of them are 7 days. And so just an absolutely amazing destination to visit. Silversea, of course, being a luxury brand, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about Silversea. They think that it's, it's of course higher priced than your standard mainstream itinerary, but it actually appeals to a very wide range of people. So it's not just for affluent travelers, it's also appeals to classic cruisers that may be interested in a small ship. It will appeal to first timers that are looking for something that's all inclusive. Silversea also appeals to people that are looking for a trip of a lifetime, because we offer so many amazing, unique destinations. We appeal to adventure seekers. We appeal to off the beaten path travelers, wildlife enthusiasts, especially in destinations like Antarctica and the Galapagos. And we also appeal to people that are seeking very unique and very authentic experiences. So if that sounds like you, pick up the phone and call your travel consultant at Expedia Cruises Thunder Bay. Silversea is the business class of cruising, so we are priced a little higher than the standard mainstream brand. The reason why people choose business class air is the same reason why people will upgrade from a 3 or a 4-star cruise line to Silversea. It's all about more space, more comfort, and better service. And that's what Silversea offers compared to mainstream brands that you may see in the marketplace. So we offer more space, more comfort, and better service. We actually offer the finest at sea, from Bulgari and Ferragamo bath and beauty products in the bathrooms, butler service, amazing cuisine, over-the-top service, and we really are affordable luxury. So you can see here some itineraries for later this year. And these, of course, these prices include air. So when you see the door-to-door fares on Silversea, that includes air to Europe. So, you're looking at Europe from about 760 Canadian per day, including air, Caribbean, from about $500 per day, including air, with some really unique, beautiful small island itineraries. And that's really what Silversea is known for. We don't call on the islands where the really big cruise lines visit. We like to call on the smaller islands that don't get as much traffic, and of course make it a very unique experience. Alaska from $600 a day Canadian, and again that includes air. And when I say it includes air, it's open jaw, so you're flying into Vancouver, flying out of Seward, or the reverse. And that is our classic Alaska itinerary, visiting Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, Hubbard Glacier, and then either ending or beginning in Seward. Silversea will be priced a little bit higher than a lot of the other cruise lines that you'll see advertised during the World Explorer event, but that is because we are an all-inclusive brand, and all-inclusive will always cost more. As I mentioned, Silversea offers the finest at sea, and so really you focus on the value. You think about the fact that the air is included, the transfers are included, the wines are included, the drinks are included, Wi-Fi is included, the gratuities are included, shore excursions are included. Everything is included in the price. And as I mentioned, it also includes air and transfers. And so over the course of the pandemic, we weren't able to travel for about 2 years. Now the world is slowly opening up. Alaska's open, Europe is open. We're still waiting for Asia to open up. South America, the Galapagos are open, Antarctica is open. So take advantage of those and go on the trip of a lifetime, because when you sit down and you think about it, how many trips of a lifetime are there in a lifetime? All of us lost 2 years. And so Silversea is a great way to travel again with a little bit of style. It's a little bit of an elevated experience to a mainstream brand if you haven't experienced it before. And so, of course, the most important thing is that Silversea has an amazing offer currently with Expedia Cruises of Thunder Bay and the 9 other branches, which are part of Team Friesen. So I want to thank all of you for your attention. And if you are interested in sailing on Silversea, please contact Thunder Bay at expediacruises.com or 1-888-814-5405. So 1-888-814-5405. And with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Sean Friesen of Team Friesen. Thank you, Sean.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. And Silversea is that bucket list cruise line. I mean, it is, we don't want to go back to traveling like we did pre-COVID. We want to gather experiences. We want to create memories. We want to fulfill dreams. This is a fantastic product to do that. My team would love to walk you through all the details. Cruise lines like this, that sticker price is going to perhaps create a little bit of sticker shock, but once we work out all the things that fare includes, your air, shore excursions, you know, drinks, all the things that it's going to include, it's really not as bad as you think it is. And
Great
so
value. Yeah.
value, right?
When you look at what it includes compared to what you have to pay extra for with
Right.
everything else. Yeah.
And I know that Mark would always say that if you're sailing the Mediterranean on a premium cruise line and the fare is $3,000 to get onto the ship, what is the price to get off of the ship? And so that's where Silversea, guess what? It is a whole different ball of wax. So thank you very much, Mark. Fantastic. And we look forward to talking to you about your next bucket list trip. We want to help you create memories. So let's get out there and do that. So thanks.
Thank you, Sean.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.